serpent, which is called the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, and bound him 1,000 years. But before his binding, okay, he was ruling as the Romans, which is also known as the dragon. But while ruling as the Romans, he also was portraying himself to be a Jew. So real quick, let me read this. This is page 7, The Legacy of Esau, Edom. And it reads, during the time of John Hyrcanus, 135 to 104 BC, the nephew of Judas, the Judites were again faced with the hostility of the Idumeans. Hyrcanus confronted the Edomites, causing a decisive change in the relations between the two factions. John Hyrcanus conquered the whole of Edom and undertook the forced conversion of its inhabitants to Judaism. You see? And it says, thenceforth, the Edomites became a section of the Jewish people, right?
Which is what they try to do to us.
Exactly. So it says, thus at this juncture of the time of the Edomites were then incorporated with the Jew nation. And their country was called by the Greeks and the Romans Idumea, because Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. You see? And it says, but the tide turned in favor of the Edomite faction when Julius Caesar made Antipater an Edomite procurator of Judea in 47 BC. When Antipater was killed 4 years later, his son Herod gained power but was rejected by the Judites. Herod truly gained the support of Rome. With a Roman army at his heels, he returned to Palestine, and after 6 months siege, he captured Jerusalem.
Brother gave me this book. It's called the Roman Empire of the Edomites. So that proves that those Greeks were Edomites and also there was Romans. So they kind of teamed up to take Jake down.
Yep.
Because he went to his people. Because if you go in the book of Maccabees, the Maccabees made league with the Romans. They became friends.
Yep. You know? And just real quick, it says that Herod even rebuilt the temple as it was in ruins from repeated sieges. So here it is in one nation, when the Babylonians were jacking us up, he's saying, raise it, as one of them, right? He's always helped someone take us over. But then he destroys something, but now that he's in rulership over it, well, now I'll rebuild it.
When he rebuilt it, he put the Roman eagle on it, which offended a lot of Jews, which led to constant war.
Yep.
Which led to the rise of different Sakari factions.
Zealots. You know? And it says, Herod even rebuilt the temple as it was in ruin. That's why it says, never trust thy enemy. Because like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And it says, when thou fall, he stand up in thy place. Get that. Sirach 12 and 11 or 12. It literally says he will stand up in thy place. Were we not fallen? Did he not stand up in our place? This is Esau, man. He's an identity thief.
Yeah. Monster.
Sirach 12 and verse 10, page 77. Sirach 12 and verse 10. And it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth it, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself.
Yeah, there's certain material you can't stop the rust. Right. You know, it just keeps going and going. You'll see a car, it'll be a little speck and it just keeps getting bigger. That's Esau, man. You know, because through the Spirit, soon the Lord going to have Vocab Malone really show his horns. He going to show his rust real soon, man. Watch. Oh, and even at a fun fact, the dude G-Con, he left the Shield Squad with Vocab because he said they were racist. So soon this shit's about to, it's about to hit the fan, man. And hey, you get an Edomite up here, he'll come, as it says, crouching, but you keep digging in and you keep bringing nigger.
They call the fucking cops.
Yeah. Hey, watch. Keep going.
Sirach 12 and verse 11. And it says, though he humble himself and go crouching.
Yeah, though he humble himself, we just got to get along. He starts whispering,
brother,
inside voice, you know? Words smoother than butter, you know? Keep going.
It says, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his brush have not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah, ain't no good Edomite. You hear that, GOCC? Then they say that? Go out, your weekly mission is go out and find a good Edomite. Couldn't find one. Why not? Because he was roaming up and down in the earth and seeking who he may devour. Keep going.
Verse 12. Set him not by deeds.
Don't set him by you. You know, now you do certain things, but you keep it at a distance, right? Set him not by thee. Keep going.
Lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand by in thy place.
When he overthrow thee, he's going to stand up in thy place. Keep going.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat.
Right, there you go. You finish it off?
Yep. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Yep.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent,
Yep.
or any such as come nigh wild beasts?
Yeah, like right now you got Eve dropping like flies out here because she getting bit by the serpent, man. You know? Yeah, call lawyer about her ass getting bit. One or two, you know, that little sword is like the tooth on a snake.
You know what that's going to do? That's going to get a lot of demonic baby mamas.
Yep. Yep. So it's beautiful. So we don't pity them. We don't pity the fool. You know?
Don't pity us.
They don't listen. They're hard-headed.
I got something going back to history.
Yep.
This is First Maccabees chapter 5. First Maccabees 5:1. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Just like now, they hate to see us out here. You know what I'm saying? What they don't realize is that we are the third temple. Wherefore they brought to destroy.
Oh, and that's why, fun fact, so I can, Pastor John Mark Reiser, or who you may know as Vocab, because you know he's a pastor? Yeah, he's a pastor. And this same pastor witnessed I'll just say an Ishmael believing gunman. He so-called worked with him. There's an article with him talking about it, right? But in the article, it says that he's receiving his doctoral degree from Talbot Seminary. When you go into the word Talbot, it means a messenger of destruction. So he's trying to destroy our third temple. That's why he got all these videos on us. Putting our elder apostle's head on a fictional character of a woman, man. That's androgynous. Putting a man's head on a female body, that's androgynous. That's satanic, man. You see? Yeah. Keep going.
It says, now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, once it says in Isaiah, I shall make an altar in Egypt.
Yep.
An altar is a place where you offer a sacrifice, which is what we're doing right now.
Yep.
It says built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob.
That's the spirit Christians come in right now. That's literally the spirit headed by the tabernacle of Vocab, man. Right. That he's literally the plow trying to plow away and gather everybody. No, we're apologists. And I told him, and I did a lesson, I said, you don't never preach us repentance of salvation. Here it is, everything that we've gone through, still going through, and you're mocking us. You're mocking our culture. You know, you're mocking our oppression. You want to come out with a song called Slavery in the USA. That's offensive, man. So they show you through their so-called diligent work, they show you the hatred they have for our rebuilding. This is a rebuilding taking place, man. And you ain't gonna be able to invade this temple. You ain't gonna put fucking swine on our altar no more, man. Right. You demon.
Precept one of the.
Hold on, a little more.
It says, wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them.
See?
And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people.
We're the generation of Jacob. That's us now. We're that generation. While you got the Generation Z, you got, Generation Jacob, man. We're it. While the end of their generation, we're the beginning. Jacob is the beginning. Hey, Lord's will, we're that first generation for our kingdom. We'll be that first generation. As it says, the first fruits. You know? Hey, Jake don't understand how much we're under attack, man. You had Dave Chappelle say it's time to attack black. They've been attacking us, man. They're attacking our men, our women, our children, our spirit, what they call the God gene. We're under attack right now. And don't let that little punk ass Black Lives Matter shit fool you. Because what about brown people, man? You know? We got so-called Latino brothers, Native American brothers, Seminole brothers, man. But he tries to use the issue with just Judah to blanket over everything else. You got fucking babies sucked up in cages right now, man, wrapped in tinfoil on top of each other, but you tell us to social distance. He's a hypocrite, man. And his fucking, his propaganda machine, Medea, the goddess of illusions, got you people, man. You got people listening to fucking meteorologists and news anchors. What doctors do you know? And doctor means to falsify. These people don't know nothing out here, man. That's why we thank the Lord for the wisdom we've been given.
And I believe when you look up Fauci, it means to cut or to bite.
Yeah, teeth.
They want to bite you with that.
That snake. That snake, man. You know? But hey, like, Paul got bitten. He wasn't harmed. We shall tread upon serpents, man. And we treading on you serpents right now, man. With the sword of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because we're not carnal men here. We are free men here, man.
It says, then Judas, First Maccabees 5:3. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau and Idumea and Rephaim, because they besieged Israel. And he gave them a great overthrow and invaded their coverage and took their spoils. And he remembered the injury of the children of Ben, who had been ensnared and an offense unto the people, and that they lay in wait for them in the ways. And he shut them up therefore in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire.
Hey, you brothers know when Esau first appointed himself a king? Under what of king of ours did Esau give himself a king? Brother, King Saul. During the reign of King Saul, Esau made himself a king too. To be his what? To be his own ruler, his own nation. To do what? To fight against us. So this is fast forward into today, why we had to fight against the Edomites, man. You know? Long war with Amalek, man. Keep going.
Yeah, Esau will refer to himself as a Caesar or a Duke.
Yeah. Shit, even a Pharaoh.
That's another way you know how. That's another sign to show you that those people that were ruling were Israelites.
Yep.
Because who is in the spirit of calling himself a king today? Israelites.
Yep. Hey, you know what proves that? That's why the 48ers, they want to ultimately have a world domination through a monarchy. You brothers know what a monarchy is? It's a monarch where you have a king, not a president. You see, but first he brought that in when he took over the Greeks and was doing as Japheth, having the Senate, the council. See, he's a virus, man, and whatever, he's like Burdock's. You know, whatever, is it Burdock? Whatever he grabs, he leeches onto it, man. You know?
So I brought that out because that's pretty much to connect to how John Hyrcanus.
Yep,
you know,
yep, and I'll finish it off. Back in Who is Esau, Edom, and it says, Herod even rebuilt the temple as it was in ruins from repeated sieges, part of which Herod was responsible for by his attack upon the city. Now before Herod, who was attacking the city? King Antiochus. Remember, in his generals in 1 Maccabees 1, they spoke with smooth words to get in, and then when they took it over, man, that's how we became the Gentiles. That's why Paul said neither Jew nor Greek, because under the Greek rulership, fulfilling the prophecy in Daniel 7, you had the Greek Empire, right? And they took us over, and we became as Greeks or Grecian. We were Hellenized. Like today, we are Americanized. A great movie to watch is The Roots. In the movie Roots, they took Kunta, stringed them up, whipped them until they called him Toby. But the word Toby is Hebrew, which goes back to Tobias, and Tobias means Yahweh Tawab. The Most High is good. Why do you think our people say God is good? That's the name they put on Kunta, man. It's all right there in our face. And it was Esau doing it, re-Gentiling us. But now, as once Gentiles, we're back. We're back to our commonwealth, man. And all fingers point back at Esau. All fingers, man. Where were we at? Oh, let me finish this. It says, attack upon the city. The temple of God became, in a sense, Herod's temple. We thus find that in the years just before the time of Yahushai, Judea was controlled by an Edomite faction. That's why John 11:47. Let's get it real quick. The Spirit's flowing real fast.
I got you.
John, his brother's got it. You got your precept. John 11:47, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, start at, yep.
St. John 11 and verse 47.
Yep, and this is under who? The Roman Empire, who King Herod was ruling in the birth of who you know as Jesus. This wicked man who called himself a Jew was committing adultery with his brother's wife. Had John the Baptist beheaded, man. And that's why the Lord took his ass out, too.
Right, he rebuked them.
Yep.
He got mad.
Because you're supposed to be a Jew. So why aren't you living by them laws? Just like now. You them people, right? Well, let an angel walk through Tel Aviv in a certain month. You know? Read that.
St. John 11 and verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests.
Hey, they don't fit the bill, but they're going to have to pay the price, man. Read that.
St. John 11 and verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees.
Now, mind you, these same chief priests were in league with who before the Romans? Get it? First Maccabees 1 and 10. Just real quick. So where the spirits got us on who? The Greeks and the Romans. But what biblical nation was the Greeks and the Romans? The Edomites. The Edomites. Read that real quick.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1. I'm going to jump down to verse 11. First Maccabees 1:11. In those days there went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we have departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Right, and what Israelites made a covenant with who in this time? The Greeks. Because the establishment of King Antiochus had to be fulfilled through prophecy of who? King Alexander, or King Alexander the Great, right? And then after his death of reign of 12 years, then the generals, but mainly there was 4.
You had the 4 heads. You had the Ptolemy,
Lysimachus,
Cassander, and
Seleucus. See?
And which Antiochus came from the Seleucid dynasty.
Yep. And they're very wicked. What's up, sis? A book? What? I would start with the Bible. You just come with your Bible.
I have the Bible.
That's all you need.
I want to learn. I want to study.
Yeah.
I have to keep ready.
We're all immune up here. You don't got to wear your mask. We're immune. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Remember, it says neither herb nor mollifying plaster which healed them, but by that word they were healed. We're in healing. We're in healing. You see. Well, to answer your question, so we can continue back, all you need is a Bible, sis. See, this knowledge is more for the men to teach. That's all. You don't need this. You don't need to know this. You know, all you need is the Bible. You good? You're an Israelite. You good already. You got a golden ticket.
I'm a single woman.
Huh?
I'm a single woman.
That's okay. You're still a believer, though. You're still a believer. You came here plenty of times. We know you. We know you. We know you, sis. Don't worry. You're good with us, okay? They that are troubled rest with us. Okay? All right. No problem. Where are we at?
First Maccabees 1 and 12.
10 again, please.
Verse 11.
11.
In those days where there went out of Israel wicked men.
As today, sellouts for thy leaders cause thy people to err. You see, that's why we don't trust a Nick Cannon or Brandon T. Jackson. The Lord isn't dealing with a superstar Israelite. Okay? We are here to accept captivity, repent, and wait on the deliverance, man. And if it's set up for us to teach, we teach. We come out and we prophesize as moved through the Spirit. All right? The body has many offices. Some teachers, some evangelists, some healers. You see?
I have prophesied and I healed.
I'm sorry?
I have prophesied and I have healed.
Oh yeah? What'd you prophesize?
The falling away. I don't know what it means.
That's talking about us.
Oh.
The falling away was the nation of Israel falling away to their commonwealth. That's why we're cursed with a confusion of face. Because every so-called black, Latino, Native American that comes from their father's side, that goes back to Jacob, should be awoken to who they are. Yeah. But under the rulership and oppression and captivity of Esau, Edom, he has stripped that away. Yeah. You see? So he made us into Gentile. That's why we're coming back out. Yeah. You see? Yeah. And then you will have men, women, children of Israel and of other nations prophesying, because the Lord is pouring his spirit upon man. Yeah. So they may have a dream, but that doesn't mean for you to teach.
Okay.
Your job to teach is you teach the younger women, mainly the women, and how to be a wife to their husband. That will be your job, sis. Go back to this.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 12.
Yeah.
So this device pleased them well.
Yeah.
Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Right. Fornication under the consent of the king. You see? That's where you get that word from. So you had wicked men out of Israel that made a covenant with the heathen, who were the Greeks, and that's how you think that they got into Jerusalem, man. Just like during 300, old boy was messing with the Persians, remember?
Yeah,
and then no, not him, before him, the one that popped Leonidas' wife, and then she stabbed him, and the Persian coins fell out. A wicked Jake. He was just another.
Judas.
Yep, there you go. So you had many of them. Now, once you finish that, we're going to get this, because now we're going to fast forward the captivity or the kingdoms.
It says, then certain of the people were so foreign herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Right. That's why when Yahushua was on trial, if you will, you had wicked Israelite men that moved other Israelites that made an uproar to take Yahushua out, man. Because you always got like wicked fruit amongst Israel that are leaders. Like right now in the Hebrew Israelite community, there are very, very wicked, nasty, vile men that are teaching our people wrong things, man. Shutting up the gates of heaven for them. But it's all the bitter and the sweet. The sheep will hear his voice, you see? So that's why we just teach, and the Lord, we just plant and water, the Lord's going to give the increase. We can't go, hey, we're not going on comment boards. We're not calling up other organizations. We're just doing the work. We put the message in the bottle, and the Lord takes it where he needs to.
Hold on. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen,
right,
and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
Boom. So what's that mean? They stopped circumcising. They started actually taking the foreskin and sewing it back on. What you call the gym today was known as the gymnos. I went to the gym the other day. Women are half naked, men are. I'm like, damn. That's why when I go, I take my glasses off and I put my head down and work out.
Just to add, the gymnos means so they were actually working out naked in Jerusalem before the besieged.
See?
Being wicked as hell.
Because why? The leaders caused them to err.
Yeah, like the brother said, they we were circumcised, but that's our custom. They made themselves uncircumcised, meaning they went through the labor of sewing skin back on them, ridden with those Edomites.
And also too, they uncircumcised in their spirit. They turned away from the laws. And remember, as the besieging took place, there was a transition of unholiness that started entering our land. It was illegal to call yourself a Jew. This is all what Esau did, man. See, Christians don't know the true breakdown of a Gentile. And at that, a Greek Gentile. It was war, it was murder, it was killing, it was robbery, it was theft. They were killing babies. They were making us hide to serve our power, man.
They killed 7 sons and a mother.
They didn't kill them, they tortured them to death. They tortured us to death just to be a Gentile. Now, John, I need that. Fast forward. So now that we see what happened with the Greeks, now let's go to the Romans. Starting with the rulership of Herod and so on, you still had wicked men in Israel that made a league with the Edomites. Watch.
St. John 11 and verse 47, and it says, then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council, and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Why would they take away their place? Because the Romans gave them that place, because what were they doing? They were taxing Jake. They were overtaxing Jake, right? And then they were also giving money to who? Caesar. For one king, Caesar.
And they were And they were also, how you say it, exiling people? Like the blind man from John 8, they exiled him. So they were exiling our people, and they would have to go and live with the heathens. Be persecuted. They were killing our people. They were very wicked. Which is why Yahushua had to come and send Paul to bring back in the Gentiles.
That's right. I'll read it again.
St. John 11 and verse 48, and it says, if we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Right, and the Romans are who? The Edomites. All right, keep going.
Verse 49, and one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people.
You don't even know what he said.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Yahushua, he did die for the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says he shall save his people from their sins.
Yeah.
And it says, and that the whole nation perish not, and this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahushua should die for that nation.
See, that nation, which proves, that's a cut. That proves that who they know as Jesus only died for one nation of people. And that's why it tells you in Luke, there are other sheep that I have of this fold. Because during the Assyrian captivity, the northern kingdom fled to what you know as the Americas, or which is known in the Bible as Azareth. That's history, man. But you have to know the history. See, Esau tries to control history because if you really go deep enough, it exposes him. That's what the Spirit is doing through history. It's exposing the deceitful acts that he did to the Most High's chosen people.
Exactly. That's why when you go into history and you say, oh, well, y'all was just hanging on trees.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't say, well, y'all were ruling. You wouldn't say like the Native Americans, they had, you know, gold in the water. They had civilizations. Man, Issachar had it set up so beautifully, man. They actually had like plants where they were cultivated on top of the water.
Yeah.
They had kingdoms. They had lots of gold, lots of silver, lots of cattle. They were living beautiful over there, man.
They had gold in the water.
Yeah.
And the Esau came over and pissed in it. Downstream.
And brought pigs.
Yep. He brought all types of wickedness. He would tie Jacob to poles or stakes. He would burn them alive, or he would even put fire ants on them.
Yep.
You know?
They brought over like a saw, and they like hung with Jake over, and they would like saw.
Yep. They would cut their nose off.
They would roast them on the fire,
Yep.
hang them, and light a fire on them.
That's why you have a fictional character by the name of Wolverine, who's actually a real man, who's an Israelite named Galvarino. Yeah, that's an Israelite. They cut his hands off, and they tied a letter to it. He went back, healed, tied swords to his hands, went back and killed them, man. That's a real man. They get a lot of actual superheroes from the Bible. You know, Aquaman is Jonah. Nightcrawler, who would disappear, Yahushua did that. You know, a lot of people. Superman is Moses, because Superman's name is Kal El, all power. Kal meaning all, El meaning power. So they take everything from us, man. But now we're taking back. Now we're taking back spiritually. See, we're waiting on our Lord and Savior Yahushua. He's gonna come back, all right, and he's gonna be the King of Kings, man. We're gonna show and introduce the world to a righteous monarch, man. That's why the Lord took out that wicked-ass Edomite king, which he looked like he's been dead for 18 years, man. You know?
You want that without Reno?
Yeah, for edification.
This is on Wikipedia, and it says Galvarino was a famous Mapuche warrior during the majority of the early part of the Akura War. He fought and was taken prisoner along with 150 other Mapuche in the Battle of Lugonolas against Governor Garcia Hurtado de Mendoza. It says, as punishment for insurrection, some of those prisoners...
These are Spaniards. The first slaves came from Spain, man.
Yep.
What was it, like 1400? Something along the lines? Yeah, 1400. It came 1441. 1441, the first slaves came from Spain. Do you want to know why the delicacy of Spain is pig? Because they knew we couldn't eat swine, so they made it a delicacy to find out who was an Israelite there.
They sifted us.
They sifted us out. That's why they're trying to sift us out now with that thing. And then next will be the mark. You see, that's why we're going to have to be as pilgrims. Because they said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
I refuse to take a vaccination. I work for Strong Hospital. My boss, she held a meeting on me. I'm union. She calls my union rep in and her boss. And she says that I don't care about myself or others, so she's trying to get me fired because I won't take it.
Just pray to the Father. Pray to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and you can get an exemption form. Hey, and if anything, get a new job. You trust in the Lord, right?
Yeah.
The Lord makes a way. Hey, 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, there's no temptation that is common to man, but is faithful to make a way for you to escape. The dollar's collapsing, that's going to be common. Mandatory, that's common. But the Lord's going to make a way for us to escape. The righteous shall scarcely be saved.
Salakia, bro. Let me add to that. My BM works at the hospital as well, and they actually called her and asked her was she up to getting the COVID vaccine, and she said no. But they said, all right, well, we'll just have to put you back on the list. So they're taking tallies on who's getting it and who's not, and persecution is gonna come.
Hey, that's why I did a lesson through the Spirit called "This Is Not Our Rest." Jake in that just complacent, going to work, clocking in, eating, going home, getting a little nickel bag here, 20 bag there. Remember my guy was saying that shit? Nah, you're not about to end up with $1 million. You're about to end up with a FEMA camp and this shot, man. You know, you like drinking, he gonna give you a shot. That's that Babylonian juice, man. But hey, at the end of the day, this ain't our rest. It's like you being complacent, you holding on to the bars, and it's your release day out of prison. You shouldn't be, you know what I mean, comfortable here. Right. This place was never set up for you to be comfortable, for you to live here and be successful.
You saw that video with those white Edomites a while back. They were the bitch was like, "You guys were brought over here to be slaves."
There you go.
Like, shut the fuck up.
There you go.
You know?
She told LeBron, "Shut up and dribble."
You know what I mean?
And you damn right, shut your ass up and dribble, nigga. Right. Since you wanted to be just this extraordinary gesture, you better start doing some 360 dunks, nigga. Because that's all you looked at. Yep. So don't be surprised when the Edomite put you back in your place. Yep. You're putting a fucking ball through a hole, man.
And that jersey's off his back, he ain't shit.
But it was okay when he was doing all those rituals. Yep. You know? The Lord is about to open up a can of whoop ass on Jake, and because they think, if a couple of dollars, you got it, man. Right. You know?
You familiar with the DMX death? He actually visited a camp. It was
we saw it.
HOI in Atlanta.
We saw it.
But they told him, they said, look, the powers that be, this video gonna get out. They gonna try to X you out, and that's exactly what they
prophesize. Brothers, and you know it's heavy too. His shirt, he had a big ass skull on the back that said cult. You go back and watch the video, he's got this big ass skull with cult on it. He's already, you know, but then he's got Exodus 1:7 tattooed right here.
Yeah.
Lord ain't dealing with that, man.
I think he had a Star of David on his neck too, tattooed.
I seen the Exodus one, not that though.
Yeah.
But where we at?
Back in,
Did we finish that point? Okay, what you have, brother? Yeah, let's get him.
This is Jeremiah 5:26. Jeremiah 5:26. For among my people are found wicked men.
Yeah, that's why you got J-Lo's little hoe ass and Michael B. Jordan, all right, telling them, you brothers seen it. Yeah. They got Run DMC doing the thing. All right, you got this nigga woman, I don't care what's in it. Hey man, deaf to them, man. These people, they're not for us. That wasn't even her. That wasn't even her. But she was throwing up the 666 and all that. And then when they popped her ass, the thing was gone. You remember being a kid with the mechanical pencil? Yeah. That's what Jake did as a kid. You put out the lead, go like that, and it goes back in. See, hey man, you remember?
That's a Hollywood prop.
Exactly.
Those knives that contract.
Exactly.
Go.
Exactly. See, so hey man, the Lord is